The AFC West is no joke in 2025, and the Chiefs face a brutal division schedule. 2 games each against the Chargers and Broncos will test Kansas City's dominance. The Chargers, led by Justin Herbert's electric arm, have a revamped defense that's starting to gel, making them a serious contender. Meanwhile, the Broncos have added key pieces through free agency and the draft, and they're hungry to prove they belong. With Sean Payton's coaching, Denver could be a surprise threat. The Raiders, always a wild card, have a new staff and potential free agent signings that could spark upsets. To stay on top, the Chiefs need a roster built for physicality. Their offensive and defensive lines must hold up against these improving teams, and the secondary needs to lock down explosive playmakers like Davante Adams or Ladd McConkey. Free agency will be critical to address these challenges. Let's zoom in on the Chargers, who are shaping up as a major AFC West rival. Justin Herbert's dynamic offense is stacked with weapons like Quentin Johnston and a bolstered offensive line. Their defense, under new coordinator Jesse Minter, added veterans in free agency, making them tougher against the run and pass. In 2024, the Chargers pushed the Chiefs hard, and with another offseason to grow, they're a real threat. The Chiefs' 2 matchups against Los Angeles, including a Week 1 clash in Brazil, will demand perfection. To counter Herbert's deep balls, Kansas City's secondary needs veteran depth. Their offensive line must protect Patrick Mahomes from a Chargers pass rush that's getting scarier. Free agency targets like a seasoned cornerback or guard could be the difference. The Chiefs can't afford to overlook this matchup. It's a tone setter for the division. The Denver Broncos are another AFC West team on the rise. With Sean Payton calling the shots, they've added talent like rookie QB Bo Nix, who showed promise in 2024, and bolstered their lines through free agency. Their Christmas Day matchup against the Chiefs at Arrowhead will be a physical battle. Denver's defense, led by players like Pat Surtain II, is a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. The Chiefs need to match this intensity, especially up front. Their offensive line, which struggled at times in 2024, must hold up against Denver's aggressive front. On defense, a consistent pass rush will be key to rattling Nix. Free agency could help here. Signing a versatile lineman or edge rusher would give Kansas City an edge. The Broncos are hungry to dethrone the Chiefs, and these games will show if Kansas City is still the AFC West king. Don't sleep on the Las Vegas Raiders. They're the AFC West's wild card, capable of chaos on any Sunday. With a new coaching staff and potential free agent splashes, they could be dangerous in 2025. Players like Max Crosby remain a constant threat, and if the Raiders land a quarterback upgrade, watch out. The Chiefs' 2 games against Las Vegas will require focus. Upsets are always possible. Kansas City's secondary must contain speedsters like Trey Tucker, while their offensive line needs to neutralize Crosby's relentless pressure. Free agency could help the Chiefs add depth at cornerback or tackle to handle these challenges. The Raiders may not be favorites, but they thrive in spoiler roles. The Chiefs' front office must build a roster that's ready for anything, ensuring they don't get caught off guard by a revitalized Las Vegas squad. To dominate the AFC West, the Chiefs need a roster built for war. The division's physicality demands strong trenches. Both offensive and defensive lines must be elite. The Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders all have playmakers who can exploit weaknesses, so Kansas City's secondary needs to be locked down. Free agency will be crucial to plug holes. A veteran guard or tackle could shore up the offensive line, protecting Mahomes from fierce pass rushes. On defense, adding a cornerback with experience or a versatile safety would help cover the division's explosive receivers. Depth is key, as injuries can derail a season. The Chiefs' front office, led by Brett Veach, has a knack for finding value signings. They'll need to prioritize players who fit Andy Reid's system and can handle the AFC West's intensity. This division is a battleground, and the Chiefs must be ready. The Chiefs' 2025 schedule includes brutal road games that will test their mettle. Matchups against the Baltimore Ravens and Buffalo Bills stand out. The Ravens, with Lamar Jackson's dual threat ability and a stout defense, are a nightmare in Baltimore's raucous stadium. The Bills, led by Josh Allen, have a passionate fanbase and a defense that thrives at home. These games will challenge the Chiefs' ability to execute under pressure. Their offensive line must protect Mahomes against Baltimore's blitz-heavy schemes and Buffalo's relentless front. The secondary will need to contain dynamic playmakers like Zay Flowers and Amari Cooper. Free agency could provide solutions, Signing a veteran tackle or cornerback would bolster these matchups. Depth and mental toughness will be critical on the road. If the Chiefs can steal these wins, it'll prove they're still the team to beat in the AFC. The road game against the Baltimore Ravens is a potential playoff preview. Lamar Jackson's speed and arm, paired with a defense that ranked among the NFL's best in 2024, make this a massive challenge. Baltimore's home crowd will be electric, putting pressure on the Chiefs' offense to stay composed. The offensive line, which struggled in pass protection last season, needs reinforcement to handle Baltimore's blitzes. On defense, the Chiefs must generate pressure to disrupt Jackson's rhythm. Free agency could target an edge rusher or interior lineman to bolster this matchup. The secondary, thin after recent departures, needs a veteran presence to cover Baltimore's receivers. This game will test Kansas City's championship pedigree. A win here would send a message to the AFC. The Chiefs' front office must prioritize players who can shine in high-stakes road games like this one. The Buffalo Bills are another road test the Chiefs can't overlook. Josh Allen's cannon arm and scrambling ability make him a nightmare, and Buffalo's defense is built to stop elite offenses. The 2025 matchup in Buffalo will be a playoff-like atmosphere, with fans desperate for a win over Kansas City. The Chiefs' offensive line must hold up against Buffalo's pass rush, which racked up sacks in 2024. Mahomes will need time to find Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy. Defensively, the Chiefs need their secondary to step up against Buffalo's deep threats. Free agency could help by adding a seasoned cornerback or tackle to solidify these units. This game could decide playoff seeding, so every snap counts. The Chiefs' ability to handle Buffalo's intensity will show if they're still the AFC's gold standard. Expect a classic showdown. The Chiefs' late-season schedule is a grinder. Key matchups include the Cincinnati Bengals, who always play Kansas City tough, and a potential playoff rematch with the Bills. These games come at a critical time when fatigue and injuries pile up. The Bengals, with Joe Burrow's pinpoint passing, will test the Chiefs' secondary and pass rush. A late-season Bills game could be a preview of January football. To survive this stretch, the Chiefs need depth across the roster. Free agency signings must focus on versatile players who can fill multiple roles. Think hybrid linebackers or multi-positional linemen. Health management will be key, as starters may miss time. The front office must ensure backups are ready to step up. These late-season battles will determine if the Chiefs can secure a top seed and a playoff bye, setting the stage for another Super Bowl run. The 2025 schedule demands a roster with depth and versatility. With 17 games and a tough playoff path, injuries are inevitable. The Chiefs need players who can adapt to multiple roles. A lineman who can play guard and tackle, or a defensive back who can cover slots and deep zones, would be invaluable. Free agency is the perfect place to find these Swiss Army knife players. Veterans with experience in high-pressure games can stabilize the roster when starters go down. The Chiefs' success in recent years has come from depth. Think players like Mike Dana stepping up in big moments. Brett Veach will likely target undervalued free agents who fit Andy Reid's system. This approach ensures Kansas City stays competitive, even when the injury bug bites. A deep roster will be the difference between a playoff exit and another Super Bowl appearance. The Chiefs' offensive line is a glaring concern heading into 2025. The departure of players like Orlando Brown Jr. in prior years and Joe Thuney's trade in 2025 have left holes. The line struggled against strong fronts like the Chargers and Bengals in 2024, and with tough matchups looming, upgrades are critical. Rookie Josh Simmons shows promise, but he's recovering from an Achilles injury, so veteran depth is a must. Free agency could target a proven tackle or guard to protect Mahomes, who faced pressure on 35% of dropbacks last season. A reliable line will also boost Isaiah Pacheco's running game. The Chiefs' front office has the cap space, $49.4 million after restructuring Mahomes and Jones' contracts, to make a splash. Signing a player like Donovan Smith or Jalen Moore could stabilize this unit and keep Mahomes upright. The Chiefs' secondary needs attention after losing key players in recent years. L'Jarius Sneed's departure in 2024 and others have left the unit thin, despite Trent McDuffie's emergence. The 2025 schedule pits them against elite receivers like Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and DeAndre Hopkins. To compete, Kansas City needs veteran cornerbacks or safeties who can start or provide depth. Free agency is the answer. Signing a player like Christian Fulton, as they did in 2025, shows promise, but more help is needed. A savvy veteran who can read routes and mentor younger players would fit Steve Spagnuolo's aggressive defense. The secondary must hold up in man coverage against the AFC's best. With cap space available, the Chiefs can afford a mid-tier signing to solidify this group and maintain their defensive identity. A consistent pass rush is vital for the Chiefs' defense, but it's been a weak spot. In 2024, their edge rushers outside of Chris Jones combined for just 7 sacks. With quarterbacks like Herbert, Allen, and Burrow on the schedule, Kansas City needs to disrupt pockets. Free agency could bring a proven edge rusher to complement Jones. Charles Omenihu's re-signing is a start, but more firepower is needed. A player like Danielle Hunter or a young veteran with upside could elevate the defense. Steve Spagnuolo's schemes thrive on pressure, and an elite rusher would free up the secondary. The Chiefs' cap space allows for a strategic signing here. Without a stronger pass rush, the defense risks being exposed against high-powered offenses. This is a priority area for Brett Veach to address in free agency to keep the Chiefs' defense elite. With $49.4 million in cap space, the Chiefs have room to maneuver, but they must be smart. The 2025 free agency class includes big names, but Kansas City will prioritize value. Brett Veach has a history of finding gems like Drew Tranquill, players who fit the scheme and deliver immediate impact. The focus will be on offensive linemen, cornerbacks, and edge rushers who can start or rotate. Mid-tier veterans with playoff experience are ideal, as they bring leadership and clutch play. The Chiefs must avoid overpaying for aging stars, preserving cap space for future extensions like Trent McDuffie's. Signings need to align with Andy Reid's versatile playbook. By targeting players hungry for a ring, Kansas City can build a roster that maximizes their championship window while staying financially sustainable. Free agency isn't just about 2025, it's about building a dynasty. The Chiefs must balance immediate needs with long-term goals. Signings should be players who can contribute now and grow with the team, like Josh Simmons or Omar Normanlott from the 2025 draft. Overpaying for short-term fixes could hurt future cap flexibility, especially with extensions looming for stars like Nick Bolton. The front office will look for players who buy into the Chiefs' culture of toughness and accountability. A sustainable roster means depth at every position, ready for the grind of a 17-game season and playoffs. By blending youth from the draft with savvy free agent pickups, Kansas City can stay contenders for years. The 2025 schedule is tough, but a smart long-term strategy will keep the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Brett Veach and the Chiefs front office have a stellar track record in free agency. From signing Tyrann Mathieu to transform the defense to finding value in players like Juju Smith-Schuster, Veach knows how to build a winner. In 2025, expect him to target under-the-radar players who fit specific roles. The Chiefs' cap space gives Veach flexibility to address the offensive line, secondary, and pass rush without breaking the bank. His ability to scout talent that thrives in Kansas City's system is unmatched. Look for signings that surprise fans but make sense in hindsight. Think versatile linemen or gritty defenders. Veach's moves will be driven by the 2025 schedule's demands, ensuring the roster is ready for the AFC West and beyond. The Chiefs' 2025 journey is a test of their championship DNA. The schedule is daunting: tough AFC West battles, road games against the Ravens and Bills, and a late-season gauntlet. But with Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, and a talented core, Kansas City is built for this. Free agency will determine if they can plug holes in the offensive line, secondary, and pass rush. Smart signings, guided by Brett Veach's vision, will ensure depth and versatility. The Chiefs' ability to stay healthy and adapt will decide if they reclaim the Super Bowl. Fans, this is why we love Chiefs Kingdom: the drama, the stakes, the glory. What do you think? Can the Chiefs dominate in 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments, like, subscribe, and join us next time on Kansas City Chiefs Today. That's it for today's deep dive into the Chiefs' 2025 schedule and free agency plans. If you loved this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Kansas City Chiefs Today, and hit the bell so you never miss an update. Let us know in the comments which free agent you want the Chiefs to sign. Check out our other videos for more Chiefs news, and follow us on X for real-time updates. Thanks for watching, Chiefs Kingdom. Let's chase that Super Bowl in 2025.